this is Wolfie Reacts, and today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. So I spoke about in my last video that I was going to be doing a mini series. So this is Retro Reacts, and what we're going to be doing is there's going to be every time I upload a video, it'll be a different song, different artist, all to basically around the same situation. So in the current climate, obviously there's a lot of protests going on for Black Lives Matter, and this has been spoke about over the eras. So we're going right back to the 60s with Sam Cooke. Change is going to come, and it's probably one of the most influential civil rights movement songs ever made. It was born from the idea of basically he was pretty embarrassed, or not embarrassed, but annoyed with himself, the fact that him being a black man, he hadn't done a song to this effect, and he was part of that a massive political movement. So he actually got the inspiration from Bob Dylan, Blowing in the Wind. So he then made A Change Is Gonna Come. But before the song was made, he was going to Louisiana with his wife, and they went to check into a hotel, and they were turned away because it was a white only state. So obviously that then fueled the inspiration to speak up on his platform, but in the best way possible. So every action has a cause and effect. The cause here was that white supremacy exerted its control over Sam, and the effect was one of the greatest civil rights songs ever made, inciting not anger or fear, but hope for equal life for people of color. And that's what we want. I mean, this was 1963. It's 57 years later, and we still have that same message that we wish to convey, and we just need to be heard. And the only way we're going to do that is if we just don't stop. So yeah, throughout this video I'll be giving a couple of little facts about Sam throughout his life as well, just to mix things up a bit. So yeah, before we get into it, if you like the content, then show some love and subscribe if you're new. It really helps out. I'm starting to get a little bit of traction now, and it's nice to see that people are supporting that. So I really appreciate it, guys. I love doing this, and I just want to continue to do it. So yeah, if you show some love, that would be really appreciated. Right, let's get into the video.
Oh, and just like the river, I've been running ever since. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes it will.
There's something special about the way that this has been produced. So when he drops a key, when he drops his pitch, to say a change is gonna come, it's quite a commanding statement, and for him to drop the pitch, it really makes it stand out, and it just drives you into that lyric, and you can really hear the conviction in his voice. Like, he wanted it to come to fruition. He really believed that a change is coming, and it has been a long time coming. So for him to start out where he did in his life to where he ended up was a miracle in itself. So he just wanted to use his platform for the best way possible to speak out and reach as many ears that he possibly could, with his craft, and obviously with that voice that he's got. So yeah.
It's been too hard living, but I'm afraid to die. I don't know what's up there beyond the sky. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gon' come. Oh, yes it will.
You can really hear the sadness in his voice as well, that's conveyed over the track. I think the cellos definitely help out in the background, because obviously it's quite a sad sounding instrument. Draws a lot of emotion, just like violins. But yeah, you can really hear his pain over the track. But then at the end of that, you hear the lifting, like the bringing together of hope and all of his knowledge and stuff. So you really hear the diversity in the track. So Sam Cooke was born in Mississippi on January 22nd, and if he was alive today, he would be 91. But legends never die. So fact one, there's a portion of East 36th Street known as Cottage Grove in Chicago, I believe, and it was renamed as Sam Cooke Way to honor his achievements as being the King of Soul. Obviously his massive involvement in the civil rights movement. Yeah, so I think that's pretty I think that's a pretty awesome thing, like having a street named after you. Everyone walks down it and knows that the reason that's there is because of what you achieve throughout your life. So yeah.
I go to the movie and I go downtown. Somebody keep telling me don't hang around. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gon' come. Oh, yes it will.
Also, the trumpets or the French horn or whatever it is that's in the background that's going do 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 do, that, and married with his voice, is such a powerful statement. And when he's commanding on that track, it's just ridiculous, especially coupled with those instruments. It just brings such an amount of intensity. With Sam Cooke, obviously he did most of the production and stuff himself, but he was one of the first black artists, I believe, to create his own record label. So he was the business side of it as well. He just wasn't the craft for him. He wanted to have control over everything. So for him to create his own record label, embody himself, and it's his own craft. Like he owns that. So no one else can tell him what to do. He has complete control over it. So yeah, so obviously he was a very smart man. Going into the business side of it, he knew that he needed to get into that side to create something for himself, not for the next man. So yeah. Second fact. So so in 1933 he moved to Chicago, and when he moved there, he went to a primary school that Nat King Cole went to. So they were from the same school. Two legends. Such a small world.
Then I go to my brother and I say, brother, help me please. But he winds up knocking me back down on my knees. Oh, there've been times that I thought I could last for long, but now I think I'm able to.
It's like he's sitting on the back of the track now and the trumpets are just carrying it.
Carry on. It's been a long time coming, but I know the change gon' come. Oh, yes it will.
So there we have it, guys. Sam Cooke, change gonna come. I think it's safe to say that a change is happening. Whether it's a small change, any change is better than no change. And with the fact that all of these protests have been taking place for weeks now, it just goes to show the resilience of one voice, of the fact that people, we're not standing for this anymore. And it seems like it's bringing to light a lot more cases that were maybe overlooked. I don't know if you've seen in the headlines and the news of what's been going on, but yeah, like police body cam videos have been released and they're trying to convict other officers for other offences, and this is what needs to happen. And you know, the more cases that get justice, the better it will be. Obviously it's not going to be eradicated straight away. This is a massive problem and it's going to take a lot of work, but the more people that pull together and have that same mentality, then you know, we can accomplish anything. So thanks for watching, guys. Like I said, this is new, so over the next video it will be a new artist. I'm not going to tell you who it is, you just have to come back and watch it. Click the notification bell just to let you know when I do upload the next video. And without further ado, guys, that's me off. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video.
Can't stop running.